Germs, boys and girls, it's that time. Tier list time. Season 1, I've been playing a bit of 6v6, and now I'll be honest, guys, I'm not doing this tier list for 5v5. Haven't played it. I'm doing the 6v6 tier list because we all know why. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, Bastion, man. I don't think Bastion is S tier, but I do think he's really good in 6v6. There's a couple characters out there that got reworked for 5v5 that when you put them in 6v6, they're pretty dang strong. There's a couple characters like that. I'm sure you guys can guess who. But, I would have had Bastion as S tier last season. This season, I think he's A tier. I think especially with tanks, I'm going to give it an A+, honestly, because the tanks in 6v6 are not raid bosses and are actually killable. Bastion's ability to move while in his mega turret is insane because it's very easy. It's way easier to catch a tank out with Reaper plus level damage. It is insane how strong Bastion is in 6v6, in my opinion, with that turret form because you can kill tanks, okay? Cass. I'm going to give Cass like a B+, B plus A-. I mean, look, his new perk is insane where he can roll and heal. Like, that's for how much he reloads. Like, to be honest, I'm going to be honest about that perk. I think that's the exact opposite of what you want with perks. I think perks should be like actionable things that you do, especially major ones. I'm not a big fan of press one button and get way extra healing and bonuses for what you're already doing. Like I like it so that, for example, stuff like Echo's major perk with the sticky bombs, you still have to land the sticky bombs, right? And it's very hard to land all of them on one person because they didn't clump them up. They're delayed. So stuff like that I'd prefer for major perks. But I'm going to put Cass at B+. I think there's a couple hit scan that are better than him, but I think he is solid. They're definitely pickable. D.Va, dude, I think D.Va is insane in 6v6, man. She's always been good. Super flexible tank. I feel like she speaks for herself, even if she's nerfed, man. Like, there are some times where you can catch her with Echo now with, like, her worst HP. But, I think it's, fine. I think D.Va's actually pretty dang solid right now. So, yeah, I'm going to put D.Va in S tier, man. Genji. All right, Genji. Oh, man. I'm going to give Genji a B+. I think he's okay. He's definitely not terrible. Like, it depends on the comp, really. Like, there are some comps where he's really hard to force, but there's some comps where he's really, really good. Like, if I see a Bastion getting picked, I can definitely pick Genji to kind of just slash through their team. Vulnerable backline heroes. You got to get on the backline and do some work. I don't think he's exceptional, though. I don't think anybody's going to rate him exceptionally in this season. I think he's okay, though. I'm going to give Genji a B+. Hanzo, man. I love the Frost Arrow perk. I'm going to give Hanzo an A-. I think there's a lot of shield break that needs to happen against Domina and a couple of these other characters. Dragon Strike with its buffs are really good versus those double shield tanky comps. He's very good at taking angles and poking out damage. I'm going to give him an A-. Definitely not an A+. Lower end of A. I think there's better picks out there than Hanzo, but he can do good damage. Combo with Zarya. He can combo with Sigma and Bap Mortality Field. No longer saves the team. He can also dragon into, what's his name? Oh, my God. Why am I forgetting the new support's name? Oh, Musickey, I think his name is. He can dragon into that ult and get some good damage off as well. So, yeah, I think dragons are pretty solid right now. I can't believe that I'm actually saying that in an Overwatch era, okay? J-Sil, I think, is terrible, dude. I think J-Sil is so bad. So many different flying options out there. Jetpack Cat making his life very difficult, letting many characters fly up in the air where he just can't hit them. My man J-Sil is struggling, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. That's not to say you can't pick the character, but there's a lot of accessible picks that make playing him way harder, okay? Way harder. So I'm going to give J-Sil a C. Lucio. I think Lucio is insane. I think that's no surprise. He's so flexible, can boost the whole team. Sound barrier really good. Vendetta does check sound barrier a bit, but I will say I think Lucio is still a pretty solid pick here. Gonna give him an S tier. Low S tier, though. Not top S tier. Low S tier Lucio. I think he is a pretty dang good character. Okay, Mei. I'm gonna give Mei a B+ as well. I think she's solid. I don't think she's top of the line. Like, she's good. And there are quite a few Mei players, maybe an A-, but, like, I just don't think she has the damage against a lot of shields. The wall is great. The damage, though, is the damage there, man. I'm not sure. So, I'm not really sure. She's definitely not C tier. I think B tier is probably a fair assessment for Mei. Situationally, A+, but I rarely would say that she is going to be S tier unless the meta allows her to rise up. But she's certainly not there because of her own kit, okay? Mercy. think Mercy is doo-doo. I think she's so bad, man. I don't know what it is about Mercy not bringing a lot to the table right now. I mean, she might have gotten replaced by the Cat. I'm going to keep it real with you. The Cat might just do more. I don't think she's bad. I think the game becomes immensely harder for your team unless you have an Echo. But, like, even then, now you have flying hit scan, right? So, the Cat changed a lot, man. I think if Cat is banned, she's B. If Cat is not banned, she's C. Okay, we'll leave that there. Pharah. I've seen 0 Pharah. I'm not going to lie, guys. I've seen no Pharah at all. None. Literally not one Pharah player all season. So I'm going to put Pharah in C. I think that if she was strong, you'd see her more. Granted, it's 6v6 lobbies, so like they're a clown fiesta to begin with. But I think at best, she is going to be a C tier character. Only because I have not seen her. That's just straight up it. Like, if I haven't seen the character, they're probably not good. So that's what I'm basing that off of. If she's not C, I would say she's probably B. There definitely are situations where you can play Pharah. It's just going to be a lot harder with a lot of the things in the game that are strong now. Reaper, dude, I think Reaper is so good. Oh my God, I think Reaper's S tier. He can be a nuisance in the backline, good TPs, great damage on tanks. I think in 6v6, Reaper can be super, super sleeper good. You'd be surprised. Like, you can just go Reaper and take your duels, get on backlines, man. Reaper in 6v6 is so much fun. His gameplay loop is so different because you can actually punish tanks. You can't punish tanks in 5v5, so Reaper has a lot more options, way more dynamic gameplay loop. If you're a Reaper player, you've not tried 6v6, 10 out of 10 would recommend. The time to kills feel amazing, okay? Rein, dude. Oh, man. I've seen a little bit of Rein. He's fed a lot. I'm going to put him in B tier. I think Ram, Sig, Domina, we'll get to those characters later, kind of knock him down a peg. I see way more of those characters than Rein. I do think you can play Rein on the right maps, but you know, you're going to have to play really well to get value. Like, playing Rein can be very hard. So I'm going to put Rein in B tier. I think he's all right. Hog. Oh, man. I've seen a bit of Hog. I'm not really sure where to put Hog. I mean, I think I'm going to put Hog in A-, and here's why. He can run around and do whatever he wants. And he can check ball, right? I think if they go double shield, it's harder for Hog to get value. But I don't think he's terrible. I really don't. I really don't. Says that, you know, I just realized I'm wearing my Bengals gear. LOL. Who day, baby? One day we'll be back. I believe in Joe Burrow, dude. Oh, my goodness. Okay. But I think that Hog is like an A-. I think, like, you know, if you're not comfortable on tank, you don't play a lot of tanks, you're a DPS player, you can pick Hog and, like, fill a tank role. For the most part, okay? Soldier, dude. I think Soldier is so good. I think Soldier's S-. Here's why. In 6v6 particularly, a lot of players are boosted, okay? Just straight up. There's not competition to keep the lower ranked players lower, so people don't know how to take angles. He can solo take his angles. He got a good perk upgrade. And, like, there's just a lot of Soldier players that are high ranked in 6v6. Granted, like, D.Va does check, and, like, double shield makes it hard. But Domina can't have the single focus point, like the same, like Domina. What's so interesting about Domina is because you can break individual parts of the shield. Like, it's light contest on off angles, right? It's like a light contest over a wide area, right? So, like, there are angles you can take to shoot through it. Double shield is strong, but with bans coming in clutch and banning out specific shields, Soldier is very good at just getting on the right angle. It's crazy how different so many careers would have been if Blizzard had actually added hero bans in 2020. Double shield never would have happened. Who knows, right? Who knows? But man, the ban system they put in really is fantastic. A big shout out. Honestly, listen, I gave them crap for many, many years because I think the product was bad. But when a good product comes out, you got to tip the hat. It's good. The ban system is better than Rivals. It's great. It's awesome. But I think Soldier is probably S tier. Now, hot take. I think Sim is secretly really good in 6v6. Specifically when they're running like Domina shield comps, dude, because she can farm so much off the shields. I think she is comp dependent, and a lot of people don't want to play her, but anytime shield comps have been strong, like slower barrier comps, Sim Brawl has been pretty dang good, man, and I think that she actually is sleep. I think she might be one of the more slept-on characters in 6v6. Hard to contest angles. Sim Wall is really strong, and if there's tanks like she can farm off of and do big damage like Domina and Sigma, who are very, very powerful right now, she can TP on them, get an entire team on top of them, and you can just death brawl. It's so good. I think she's very, very secretly good. Torb, I think Torb is B tier. I think Torb is solid. You got some good perks. Being able to ult while in overload or activating overload when you ult is very helpful to him. That's a very niche interaction that most people don't know about, and it's a very good minor perk. So I'm going to say Torb is B. I think there's a lot of dive comps that he's good into, primarily when they're playing Ball or Sombra or Tracer. I think Torb is a great pick to help mitigate, especially with how oppressive Ball is in 6v6. I'm going to put Torb in B tier. If they're playing dive, I think he's A tier. If they're not playing dive, I think he's B tier. So B plus for Torbjorn, okay? Tracer. I've not seen much Tracer. Honestly, I'm going to put... this might be troll. I don't think I can ever rank Tracer lower than A tier, to be honest. She's always going to be a very good character, but I don't think she's S tier this season. I think she... In 6v6 in particular, I have not seen very many Tracer players. There's a lot of good pokey, brawl, like bulldoze you characters that make Tracer's job very hard. Obviously, if you're a great Tracer, you can get value, but I think there's a lot of easier picks that give more direct value than Tracer right now, which is going to make me bump her down to A tier. Widow. I think Widow is B tier, okay? Look, you guys know how I feel about Widow. I think there's not another character in this game that you can take over a lobby while going 4-4, sitting in the back of the map, not contributing anything to a team fight other than just sitting there and looking pretty like you're fucking, I'm not even going to get started, right? There's not another character in the game that can force the game to get changed that much just by being picked. But... that being said, I think with how powerful Wrecking Ball is in 6v6, and heroes like Sombra being able to go marker and different things to get on the backline now, I think Widow is only a B-tier map-specific character at best. That's kind of the reality. Is she fun to play against? No, she ruins literally every single game that she's in. She's the most broken sniper character I've ever played in any video game. No fall-off, no glint, no laser, no, scope sway, high mobility options, right? There's not been a sniper in any other game that's had that much on their kit. That being said, there's also a 1300 HP, rolling tow truck that just bulldozes you that you can't do anything to, which is Wrecking Ball, who is just so broken, he's forcing her down. If Ball was not an absolutely busted character, she would be way higher ranked. But again, the threat of Ball with how many Ball mains are abusing the character in 6v6 is insane. So for that reason, she's going to be B tier. Winton, man, I think Winton is A tier. I don't think he's God tier or anything like that, but I do think he's a good pick overall. Brings a lot to the table. Good old Winton. Good old faithful, right? Good old faithful. Good old Winton, man. Gotta love Winton. Not much to say there. Same is gonna go for Zarya. Zarya is, I think, also an A-tier champion. I mean, champion hero. She's just good. She ton of damage, a lot of grav, good perks. Got changed around a bit this season. I think she's just good. She's just good. She can just any tank. Grav is such a strong ult. She can do a ton of damage. Very squishy, but, can be rewarded. Perfect push and pull. Great design. One of the best designed tanks in any game ever. Okay, Zenyatta. Hot take. I think Zen is at least A tier in 6v6. He's one of those characters, especially with triple support being an option. And those triple support comps, he's really good, right? I think he's just great. Like, he's just, Discord is so strong. Tanks die in this mode. Again, he struggles against Ball, but you can kind of deal with Ball. The Discord does do a lot to Wrecking Ball. Tracer is not as strong. Sombras you can manage. There are quite a few Zen mains who are able to force Zen a lot in 6v6 in a lot of different situations. So I'm going to give Zen an A tier. I think an A- is an appropriate rating for Zenyatta. I'm going to give Ana A tier as well. I think that she's okay. I don't think she's amazing God tier, but I do think she's solid. Not much else to say there, really. Nano Boost is really strong ult. Anti-heal is really, really good. Double Shield might phase her out a bit, but if Double Shield isn't being played and you get a good ban off, I think she's definitely a viable support. Again, Nano combos are so powerful that just because of that, I think she's always going to be a pretty viable pick, especially with your boy Winton. I think she's solid. Sombra, I think Sombra's B tier, man. I think she's definitely not like A+ tier, I don't think. She could be sleeper. I think she actually is a little underrated now compared to where she was, because previously I'd have her in C tier, but I think she's at least a B+. I think there's a lot of different times where you can run Sombra now. You can check Sigmas, EMP into double barrier comps is really good if you can build it. I think she's a B+. I'm going to give her like a solid B+. I think she's definitely not a top tier DPS, but I think she is pretty good. Orisa, dude. I think Orisa, is she S tier? She's up there, man. She's up there. Orisa is strong, man. I think Orisa is strong this season. I've seen quite a bit of Orisa in 6v6. She can get quite a bit of value. She's a great solo tank with the shield. I know it got nerfed. But in 6v6, there are so many maps where she's great at anchoring a corner by herself. She's a great tank to play solo with triple DPS comps. Ironically, how my team used to run her in contenders, we would have DCOD solo as Orisa with the barrier, but we played triple DPS comps. It's pretty consistent. Okay, it's pretty consistent across the board with her being able to be a solo tank, and particularly because of the late game, when she gets her shield perk, her ability to do that, especially in a game where you might get a lot of DPS players, can be pretty dang good as a poke tank. So I think she's actually S-. I don't think she's one of the best tanks in the game. I think she just got nerfed, but in 6v6 with double barrier and her fortify, I think she's good. I really do think she's exceptional. Doomfist, I think, is A tier. I think you can play Doom in a lot of different situations. It's more so how you play. He's definitely not like a top pick tank in 6v6, but he is good. I do think he's good. I think if you're a Doom main, you can play Doom in just about any game. Really, you can. It's more about how you play. You're definitely gonna have some unfavorable matchups, like some Torb poke comps can be really annoying to deal with. Double barrier comps can be really annoying to deal with. But we make it work. Okay, cool. Let's keep it going. All right, Moira. Let's rank Moira in. I think she's average, man. I think there's some death ball comps where she's like solid, but I definitely don't think she's one of the best supports in the game. Like, listen, if you want to force Moira, you can. I think there are better support options now, definitely, but in that type of death brawl comp, she could be pretty dang good. So I think she's all right. Like, she's viable for sure, but not a top tier pick. Brig, I'm going to put in A tier. I think in some of those slower, brawly double shield comps, she can be great. She's very good against one hamster, which we're going to get to next. I'll let you guys guess where the hamster's ranked. But because she's like the best ball support in the game to counter ball and mitigate wrecking ball, she's at least going to be A tier. She's going to struggle in the poke comps, but there's a lot of flankers that are pretty dang good this season that Brig is good at checking. So because of that, I'm going to put Brig in A tier, okay? Ball. Okay. I might record a whole video about this, okay? Unfortunately, some of the characters that got reworked for 5v5 that maintain those reworks in 6v6 are just absolutely giga broken. One of those characters is Wrecking Ball. He is S+ tier, man. That character got reworked to be way more flexible for 5v5 to fit as a 5v5 tank, but he didn't need that rework in 6v6. And now when he has that flexibility in 6v6 on top of his perks being insanely powerful with a big perk buff, the dude is borderline unstoppable. And if it doesn't tell you how strong this character is, think about this for a second. Where I had a ball today in my game go 1-10, okay? Then he said it was fine. I just got my big perk. The rest of the match, he went 8-3 and finished the game like 9-13, okay? This dude's perks are busted. Absolutely busted to the point where like a low master's ball is getting pulled up into a GM lobby, feeding the entire game 1-10, gets his next perk, and goes a 2.5 KD. Granted, the next map did favor him a bit more, but this character is unbelievably strong, especially with his rework in 6v6, or his 5v5 rework being in 6v6. Okay. Let's see. Ashe. I think Ashe kind of fell off. I think Ashe is B tier. I don't think she's great. I see a lot more Emre. I see a lot more Hanzo. I see a lot more Soldier, right? I see a lot more. I think there's a couple characters that are a bit more competitive than she is. Now, if they're running the clumped up double shield comps, I do think she's actually really good. I think Bob into those comps and dynamiting over the shields can be really, really strong. It's just hard to get that done. So I'm going to give Ashe a B+. I think she's a solid character. I just don't think she's quite as good as some of the other things. Bap, dude. I think Bap is insane in 6v6. He's insane in 6v6. There's so many comps where this dude can flex. He can put out so much damage. He's got a very strong ultimate, the goalkeeper role. I remember when they changed it, which honestly was a good change. They just needed to reduce some of the damage it did when he was already such a powerful character in comparison to things like Ana and many other characters in the game. But Bap's crazy. I feel like I don't even need to go detail on this. The Immortality Field perk is very, very good. His perks are all good. His kit is good. Bap is just really, really freaking good, man. So I'm going to give Bap an A tier, or an S tier. And the same goes for Sigma. Holy crap, this guy is so good in 6v6. You can pick this guy almost anywhere. He was the most overkitted tank in Overwatch 1 history. He was dominant. He was the only tank that, when worked into Overwatch 2, did not need a rework to still dominate his maps in every situation. This guy is probably the best all-around tank they've put in the game in a really long time. He is so powerful, insane ult, insane damage, brawl options now with his melee perk, and levitate with his fly. So flexible. You can build Sigma to do anything on almost any map in 6v6. He is unbelievably good. Sigma going to be S tier. Echo. Okay. I'll put Echo in A tier. Look, I give Echo like an A, like a 94, right? 94 on the test. You know, it's an A. You take the A. I really wish, and I hope a developer sees this, you guys are still missing the mark on Echo's perk 1. Her perk 1 needs to build before her ult, okay? Because it's the better perk is copy. It's always going to be the copy. The movement speed while in beam doesn't really matter. I think it's harder to track when doing it. Granted, you get a beam size increase, but starting out with 50% of your ult in copy is just so good. It's just a shame that the ult builds faster than the perk 1. So you're not going to be able to get big value out of that perk until your second ult, or if you hold your ult. But one of the best upsides of Echo's gameplay loop, and I say this as somebody who's... have I been playing Echo for 6 years? Oh my God, I've been playing Echo for 6 years. Unk's getting old. I get self-reported. Oh my God. Holy crap. Okay. But man, that's one of the best parts of playing Echo is when you pop off with stickies, you farm well, and then you ult. And the fact you can't, and like her perks aren't that strong compared to others in the game, even in the minor category. You really should make sure that her perk 1 builds before her ult. So yeah. I think she's solid. I do think she's good. I won a lot of games on Echo this season. She's very hard to play, and again, I think she was better than ever pre-Season 8. Season 9 took so much away from this character. Oh my gosh. And you might be like, well, dude, that doesn't make sense. Like, guys, they made her beams wider, but they didn't ever adjust her time to kill. I know they've given her shields. I know they've changed her health, but I played her guerrilla warfare style, and all you want in guerrilla warfare style is TTK. You want your time to kill to be as low as possible. And ever since Season 9 of Overwatch 2, her TTK has been worse, objectively, because again, every character's health pool got raised, and she didn't really get damage. She got width. And if you were hitting the stickies and you were able to land them, having the lower health pool targets was better with the same actual damage values coming out of the character. So I really miss pre-Season 9 Echo. She was so dirty. Oh, I miss her so much. With that being said, she still is A tier. They've compensated with other stuff, but man, I really do miss those time to kills, and I wish they'd go back to rewarding the more assassin play style. And I know they give her mobility. I'm not trying to take away from that, but like that, dude, I would trade every single buff they've given her to shields, survivability, all that. I would trade it all to have that time to kill back, man. Oh, I love it. Okay. All right, Soj. I think Soj is solid. I'm going to give Soj a solid A tier. If she's not A, she's S. Great damage. Railgun's great. She's insane. I think she's better in 5v5 than 6v6. She's not bad in 6v6, but there's way more open space on the map, and she's just the best hit scan DPS at capitalizing on that. So, yeah, I think Sojourn at A is valid. Maybe, well, insane character. We'll give her an S. I think Junker Queen is also an A-tier character. Again, she's great at walking past Dominus Shield and lifestealing off that in Sigma. If you can play close quarters, again, the Poke map, she struggles. But, you know, I actually see quite a bit of Queen. It's crazy how the 5v5 tanks somehow fit seamlessly into 6v5. It's weird. Weird how that works without a rework. I don't know. That's odd. You know, it's almost like you can have multiple tanks make a... Okay, Kiriko. This is going to be funny. Dude, this character it's so funny. I know her win rates aren't the best, but like, even without being able to cleanse on her TP, she's still just insane. Like, you can pick, like, if you're like, oh man, I don't know what support to play. Kiriko is almost never the wrong answer. Like, she might not ever be the wrong answer. She's got a super strong ult, great healing, great survivability, great damage, a great utility. She's like an A grade all around her. So Kiriko, the only time in 6v6 you don't want to pick her is if you need to heal numerous people at once. Like, if you're running like a death ball comp and people need to your tanks are clumped up constantly, I think Bap is probably better. But I still think you can still pick her and not be trolling. So, yeah. Ram, dude, I think Ram is S tier in 6v6. I think Ram is so good at cleaving other tanks, sustaining his ult, occupying space. Ram fits beautifully into 6v6. Arguably better in 6v6 than in 5v5, because in 5v5 all you really do is sit there and block, but in 6v6 you have a great gameplay loop of blocking, cycling, going for kills on frontline, damage pressure. Every bit of damage you do to the enemy tanks matters. There's an insane tank dance with Ramattra that is so cool, man. I think Ramattra is S tier, insanely good. Wife Lever, C tier, dude. I think Weaver is doo-doo. I think he's just bad. Like, look, there's some situations where he's good. I think he's a lot like Mercy, where he's just hard to play. Like, I know his pedals and stuff are better. I think he's very map specific, very situational. Though, if he's not C tier, he might be B tier. Not really sure. Definitely a chill character. Like, you can play him and mess around and have fun. I just don't think he's exceptional. That's my opinion. Yari, I'm going to put Yari in B tier, man. I think she's okay. I think there are maps where she can get a lot of value, but otherwise, if you're not on those maps, I think there's a lot of comps that are just better, especially with Ball being very, very good. He can disrupt her quite a bit. She can't do a lot to him other than shoot him, I guess. I think she's B tier. B tier. Mauga. Mauga's also going to be B tier. Dude takes so much damage. A lot of barriers forcing him out. You see a lot of double shield in 6v6. If they're not banning Sigma or Domina in the games, it's very, very hard to get value on Mauga. Maybe you can run past the shields and go in with a queen, but it's much harder to do that than it is to pick a shield tank. So I'm going to say Mauga is a solid B tier, and the same is going to go for Venture. I just don't think Venture brings a whole lot right now as a DPS. If they made her or their fucking, what's it called? The Tectonic Shock ult go through barriers, I think that would be much better. Honestly, it probably should. But, I think that would piss people off. So, they won't do that. I think Venture's a solid B tier. Juno, I'm going to put an A tier. I think Juno's actually pretty good. Again, you have two beefy tanks in front of you a lot of the time. And Speed Ring's great for them. Juno ult is Orbital Raid is pretty good when on a lot of these maps. Like I'm thinking King's Row, stuff like that. Juno is exceptionally good. You got speed boost for your two tanks or whoever might be on a shield comp, whatever it might be. And the missiles are very, very good into what's being played a lot consistently. So I think Juno's a solid A tier here. Same goes for Hazard. I think Hazard actually is an A tier character as well. He's flexible. He can be hard to play, right? But I think he's just such an overkitted tank that he's just able to get value in a lot of the things that he does. So, again, I think Hazard is in a pretty solid spot. You can play this dude pretty much anywhere. Same is going to go for Freya. I think that she's a pretty I think Freya and Hanzo are about the same level of power, in my opinion. I think one place where Freya might be better is actually taking vertical angles to go around the shields rather than just outright bursting the shields and ulting over them. So she's better at taking the angles when Hanzo is more of a brute force champion, but I think they're both about the same tier in 6v6. I'm going to put Wu Yang as well in that same A tier. He kind of struggles with heal output and barriers, but again, if you're good at Wu Yang and you can pump damage out, I don't think it really matters that much. I mean, I think the character, he's got a very high skill ceiling to get to, but when you get there, I think you can force this guy in just about everything. It might be hard for your team to get value. I had a really high ranked Wu Yang on my team, and there just wasn't another support I could pick to live against Ball, and my team really, I needed my DPS to peel me, and they just would not do it. So, yeah, that kind of sucked. Okay. Wu Yang, A tier, okay? I think Vendetta's about the same. I think, look, Vendetta's dominated some games. I think she's probably A+. I think she's good, man. Vendetta is honestly, I listen. I know people hate her, right? But I really got to give it to the devs. She's the best flex DPS they've put in the game in a really long time. I think she solos Freya. I think she solos Venture. I really do think she's the coolest flex DPS since Echo, and she's probably next on my, that's a character that I pick up and I actually want to play. Really, really fun. Really, really cool. I think she's at least an A+. Very, very good character. Anran, I've seen, none of this character. I'll be real. I'm going to give Anran a B tier. Only because I've not seen anyone play this character, man. Maybe more will come out of her when people play her more. Truly, I've not seen enough of her, honest to God. So, like, there's a big question mark on that one. I haven't seen her. I haven't really played her either. I'm sure that she's good. Just literally no one in 6v6 is playing this character. So, I truly can't rank them. So, my bad. My bad. But Domina, however, dude, I think Domina is insane in 6v6. Oh, my God. She's banned in most games. And listen, Overwatch and Blizzard said there's a freaking Dami Mommy and Emma Frost and freaking, what's it called, in Marvel Rivals. And they said we can't let this slide. You know how many posts there were about Emma and all that stuff? And I'm sure that's when Blizzard was like, dude, we're going to break the internet with this. Dude, people been saying some crazy stuff about Domina. I'm not even kidding. I've heard some crazy stuff about this character. Like, not even about their abilities. The character, okay? You're picking up what I'm putting down. We're talking about the Overwatch comm here. So, like, there's going to be some wild stuff on the timeline, okay? Listen, if there's one thing Overwatch is ranked 1 in, their Rule 34, I think, literally was beating Fortnite in search results. And that's insane. Jeez Louise. I don't know. Crazy world out there, man. People are going to do what they're going to do. But Domina, she's good. She's good. She's very good. Her ult is insane. Her ult is the coolest ult they've ever added to the game. Like, reversing the concept of a shield as like it's just cool. And it really nailed Vishgar, too. That was, like, man, they haven't nailed a tank release like that in terms of, like, playing to the lore and doing cool stuff since Sigma. And Sigma's release trailer was unbelievable. So, yeah, I think Domina's really good character, and not much to say other than that. Emra, I think he's solid. I think he's A tier. You know, yeah, I think he's A. I don't think he's exceptional. I think he's A. You can play him a lot. I see him get played a lot. His ult is strong. You got to be good at the game, but he feels so good to play. And solely because of the fact his burst is the best feeling burst I've used in a game since the Warzone 1 M16. And anyone who played Warzone 1 and knew the M16 meta, you know what I'm talking about. Or the AUG. Honestly, not even the AUG. The AUG meta was trash. The M16 meta in Warzone 1 was peak. Peak, bruh. Peak. Jetpack Cat, okay? All right, here's how I'm going to rank my teammates on the cat. D, all right? Just to spite my teammates, I'm putting this character in D because every time I get a Jetpack Cat on my team, their win rate is so bad and they never heal me and they just want to fly around and troll, okay? Specifically in 6v6. And this is a direct reference to the 6v6 player base and all of you who are picking Cat, and I know everyone who's playing with 6v6 totally understands where I'm coming from. D tier, because y'all suck. Oh my God. There's like 2 good Cat players that I've seen in 6v6. The rest of y'all don't heal and you run it down. Solely because of that, I'm going to put the character in D tier. However, I do think he's probably A tier. I don't know. Maybe not. I have no clue because the people who played the character are horrible. So I don't know. D tier because you guys stink. Literal freaking stinky diaper. Diary of a Wimpy Kid turd. Okay? All right. Musickey, I think, is S tier, dude. I think he's so good. That chain ability. Tell me how a support gets a better trap than the DPS trap. You know? That trap is insane. His healing is insane. His ult is dope. Disappear. Yeah. His ult is what Sue Storm ult should have been, by the way. Just to throw that out there. Really cool. A lot of decision making to make. Do you want to go through this ult and kill, or do you want to back out and wait? Really cool concept. People aren't great at using it yet, but I think it's going to get there. I think this dude is S tier, man. Okay. Hey, that's my Season 1 Overwatch tier list. Goodbye and good riddance, Overwatch 2. You will never be missed. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch y'all later. Take care. Much love. I really enjoyed Season 1. Let me know what you guys think about Season 1. You having fun? Is Overwatch back? Let me know. Take care. Much love. Peace out, boys. See ya.